Hi, grade 11s. Today we are going to revise some of your analytical geometry or coordinate geometry that you did this year to prepare you for your exams. In coordinate geometry, we are looking at the coordinates of points. Say you've got a point here, which is point A. We can label this point as coordinates xy. Say for instance I've got another point over there which is called, say, is point B. It can also have the values for x and the value for y there, x, y. But if I were to write like this, it would seem as if the x and the x over there are the same and the y and y over there are the same, which is not the case. So to differentiate them, so we say this is a first x, so that is the first y, so it's x1, y1, so this will be x2, y2. You will recall from your information sheet in the exam that you do have some formulae that you can use for coordinate geometry, which is this one. This is for the distance. So if I can write this if we'll use this formula for distance, and you use this one for the midpoint, right? And this one when you're trying to find the equation of a line, same as this one over here, finding the equation of a line. So both of these you use that, and this one you use for the gradients, same as this one. We've got m we use for gradient, so this for gradient. Sometimes when you talk about collinear points, we also use this. Let's see how we can answer some of the questions, say, in the exams. Let's look at this question over here. So we've got this diagram, triangle ABC, and then we've got a point D over there, where D is the midpoint. Let's check what the questions are saying. It says here, determine the coordinates of D, and D is the midpoint of BC. So to find the coordinates of D, if D is the midpoint of BC, so we use this formula that we spoke about. We said this is for the midpoint, so we'll use this formula here. So now we are talking about point D, so we'll say D, then we open the bracket, we say x1 plus x2, so it's x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then it says y1 plus y2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So it means that now we'll have the coordinates by using this formula. So on D, I'll have x1 plus x2, so it's minus 1 plus that, so it's minus 1 plus the 7 over there, there's x there. We divide by 2, and then we take y1, the y1 on this side here, so it's a 2. You add that y there, which is 8, then divide by 2. So which means that our D will be a point of minus 1 plus 7. It's a 6. Then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then this one is 2 plus 8. That is 10 divided by 2. You get 5. So the coordinates of D are 3:5. If I like, I can write over there, make things easier for me when I do some other calculations. Let's look at another question. It says, determine the gradient of AB, the gradient of this line over here. Now the formula for the gradient, we said, if I want to find the gradient, I can say y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. That is the gradient. M stands for the gradient. Therefore, if I want to find the gradient of AB, the gradient, I'll say, so M is equal to y, they said y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the gradient will be y2. Let's say that is your second y. Let's say this is 2. Then you subtract the minus 4 divided by the x2, which is minus 1. I subtract the minus 3, and then so m is equal to, so to make sure that I don't make a mistake, I can put this in a calculator. So there is a calculator 2. It's a 2 minus bracket minus 4, then I close, go down there, so I've got a minus 1, subtract, open bracket, minus 3, close there, I get an answer which is 3, so my gradient there is 3. Next one, determine the equation of DE. Now I want the equation of that line over there. in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So we must write our answer in this format. We said that to find the equation, we'll use this equation again they gave us. Now the equation has got m, but now what is m? It is a gradient. Now what is how to find the gradient? You know that the gradient of a line, we need the points, but I only have that one point. But there is this thing here which says the lines are parallel. We know that if lines are parallel, they will have the same gradient. So the gradient of this will be same with gradient as the one that we got there. So therefore the m for this one will be 3. Therefore I'll say y is equal to 3 then x plus c. So I know that m is a 3. So what's left now is to find the value of c. To find c, I must know what is x and what is y. The line DE passes through the point 3 to 5. So I'll use that point because DE is on 3 to 5. X is 3, y is 5. So I'll put a 5 here. Is equals to 3 times the x which we said is 3, then plus c. So 5 is equals to 3 times 3, that's 9, then plus a c. Now I'll take a 9 across. So 5 minus 9 is my c value. So c is equals to 5 minus 9 is minus 4. Therefore, the c I'll replace with a minus 4. The equation now is y is equal to 3x minus 4. Let's look at another example. It's this one over here. We've got a triangle here, triangle PQR. Again, M is the midpoint of that. They say determine the coordinates of M, and then we say to find the coordinates of the midpoint. We use this. So therefore we'll say M, then is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Make sure that the formula is correct, otherwise they'll give you 0 if you copy the formula wrongly. So m is equal to the x1 for PR, that PR is there, so it's x1 is 3 and then plus 7. So I'll have a 3, then plus 7, we divide by 2, and then y1 plus y2, so it's 5 plus 1, so it's 5 plus 1, then divided by 2, close there. So which means my m value, 3 plus 7 is a 10 divided by 2, I get a 5, and then 5 plus 1 is a 6 divided by 2, I get 3. So the coordinates of m is 5 is to 3, so I can put it there, that is 5 is to 3. Done. The next one says, if PQRS is a parallelogram, now PQR, where is S? So you must know that when we label polygons, we must complete a circle. So if I say PQR, I must go there so that I'll complete the thing. So which means that my S is somewhere over there to make a parallelogram. Let me draw this thing, makes things easier for me to see what I'm talking about. If I were to draw my parallelogram, it would be something that looks like that. So that S that they are talking about is over there. There is S there. So we now know that this is a parallelogram. So they say we must find the coordinates of S. So we need to find what is the X value and what is the Y value over here. So we don't know. Let me put a letter A and a letter B to be able to see. So I want to find what is A and what is B. Now, the best way of doing this is to remember that when you talk about a parallelogram has got diagonals. I can draw a diagonal that will pass through that line over there. So the line that goes through like that to make our diagonal. So the diagonal QS and line and diagonal PR, because it's a parallelogram, they bisect each other, which means that that length over there, so if I will do this, must be equal to that length over there. So M is also the midpoint of S and Q. So therefore, to find now S, I'll have to reverse the midpoint formula. So to find A, so we know that this plus this divided by 2 will give me the middle. So I would say, therefore, I know if I add the A plus the minus 5, then divided by 2 will give me the middle answer for X, which is a 5. Therefore, I can solve for A here. So which means A, take a 5, cross multiply to there. So A plus a minus 5 will be equal to a 10. So which means that the A, remove these brackets, minus 5 is a 10. So take minus 5 across, so A will be equal to a 10 plus 5. So your A value is a 15. So now we know that A over there is a 15. Now we also need now to find the value of B. We do the same thing here. So when you add the Y values, so we say a minus 9. So we can say and minus 9. If I add the B over there, divide by 2 will give me the middle Y value, which is 3. So therefore I'll cross multiply here. So I'll have a minus 9 plus B is equal to a 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. So now take minus 6 across. So B is equal to 6 plus 9. So your B is 15. Again, I get 15, but it's not always the case that these numbers are the same. So the B value is 15. Therefore, I can answer the question for the coordinates of S. Say S will have the coordinates 15 for the A and 15 for the B. That's X and Y. Now let's see how you can do from some of the past exam papers. So yours is to do from the website www.brighterfuture.co.za/grade 8 to grade 11 papers. So but you'll do DPE November 2016 question 3 and the IB November 2013 question 1. The other papers we'll do them the next time when we have revised the work.